All right, welcome everybody. We are back again here, PCDC Motorsports, for another season of ACC. This time we're gonna be doing the GT3 class for the entire season. So the directing commentary will be by me, Senna Stuffmeal, and perhaps Pedro Diaz might join in later, but I'm still unsure about that. So for now, you'll be stuck with me. Let's take a quick look here at how the track is looking in front of us. So today we're at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and we're in Catalonia in Spain. The track features 16 turns, is 4.655 kilometers long, or 2.892 miles long. Obviously, Catalunya, very well known in the MotoGP world, also very known for the testing that happens there for F1, and today we'll be taking a whole field of GT3 cars around here. The race format for today is going to be a 110-minute warm-up that has already passed. Nearly everyone should be in the pits now, because in these last couple of minutes there will be a driver's briefing for all our drivers. Then we'll have 15 minutes of qualifying, and then we have a 60-minute race. During these 60 minutes, the drivers will have to make one mandatory pit stop with a tire change, and they'll get a 10-minute pit window for this, and this will be from, if I'm not mistaken, minutes 25 to 35 in the race that they have to make this pit stop. We will also have a rolling start. So before we head into qualifying here, let's also take a quick look at the calendar, because we have quite a nice lineup of races for us here this season. Sorry for that there. I still have to I added another scene to my streaming this time around. I still have to add the microphone in there. Obviously I can't do that while the stream is live. But I hope you got a good look at the calendar, and then maybe somewhere throughout the race I can rectify the issue there. But 1 minute to go here until we head into qualifying, and obviously with all our drivers being in the GT3 class, we'll have to see a bunch of good fights at the front. People I expect to be at the front: Marcus Lawrence, Vincent Ehrbrich, of course. Both of them, I think, teammates this season, both sporting the Honda. So definitely looking for a challenge here, I think, in the Honda, because it's not the fastest car on the track. Although on power tracks, I notice the Honda does pretty well. And obviously, we just took it around Bathurst there, and we got pretty good results as well. But we'll see how they manage throughout the season. Let's see here. Jordan Wansink is actually going around the track here still in the last couple of minutes, also sporting the Honda. So I don't know. I guess Bathurst has converted a couple of people into using the Honda. See if we have any people returning from last season that were up at the front. It doesn't seem so. I'm looking for Jan Gang and a couple of other people. So obviously now we will be heading into qualifying, and let's take a look at how our drivers fare. Well, let's see. We'll have 15 minutes. See who was out on track first. I think I did see Jordan. Oh, Domi Person. Oh, Domi Person sporting the Lexus. We can see a bunch of our drivers already getting out there. Obviously, only 15 minutes, so maybe 2 good runs that you can get in, where you get 3 laps in, and then qualifying will obviously already be over. As we're looking here, the only person sporting the Lexus. Personally, not a favorite of mine, but I know if you have the right setup, you can make the car work quite well. It does struggle a bit on the tires, I've noticed, after they did the whole chassis update. It does seem that the tires take quite a hit on the Lexus on longer stints, but obviously only 30 minute stints or thereabouts in the race, and so that'll kind of nullify that problem with the Lexus, I think. Anyone a bit more towards the front, so Kovacs Levente also in the Nissan GTR, also a bit of an underrepresented car, together with I think the Honda and the Lexus probably as well. So good to see someone take that car out. See how he makes his way around the track here. Obviously, we will try to keep tabs here. I think we have Lukas Rojovic, who was the first out on track. He's gonna put the first flying lap in here. Very wide there, going into turn 1. Obviously, you want to use all of the track you have. Looking tidy so far into this long right-hander here. Need to be careful to not get on the throttle too fast, but the track is rubbered in pretty well there, it seems. So Lucas already pushing right on the edge of the track there. Doing pretty well so far. It looks like a really tidy lap, actually. We're a bit squiggly under braking there. I think he got his braking a little bit wrong there on the left-hander. Now moving up into this tricky uphill, left, right. And we have another fast right-hander going onto the back straight. Ooh, this seemed like he got this line slightly wrong there, but still good run onto the straight where the Lexus really shines. Together with the Honda behind him, I think the Honda also does really well on the straights. And then into this last sector, which is really tricky. It is alright in high downforce cars, but you really have to ring the car around here to get your good time. Oh, and Rojovic with the slide there. That'll be his first run over, I think, as the other cars come through there. Let's see what's behind him there. I want to say Marcus Lawrence there. Okay. So Marcus Lawrence in first at the moment. Let's see how he stacks up there. A 1:44.3. Oh, and Arnsman actually. Thomas Arnsman also in the Honda. Just doing a 100 better than Lawrence there, and Deploy as well. Getting some nice times in the Ferrari there, so nothing to separate these people. And let's take a look here at Vincent Ehrbrich, who hasn't gotten a lap in yet. Ooh, as he's struggling a bit with traffic there. So I suspect we won't see him putting in his best lap here, but obviously I think he'll keep going for that second lap if he has enough fuel. So let's see what he does when he comes across the line here. Still manages to put it in first, even with that traffic. Still, again, shows how dominant Vincent Ehrbrich can be if he puts the effort in. But I suspect we'll see an even faster lap from him then this time around, as he got held up a little bit there. In the meanwhile, I want to take another look at Domi Persson, also in the Lexus. About 2 seconds behind our leaders. We also saw in the meanwhile Wansink getting in 5th, Ruben van den Huggen also returning, it seems, for a season. I know a couple of seasons ago Ruben in position 6 there, he was in the McLaren. He also did fairly well in that. Now sporting the AMG as Domi Person heads into the last sector here. Again, tricky technical sector where you really have to hit your marks here to get that lap time. But Domi Person doing a very good job here as he's 1.3 seconds up. So that'll be a big jump for Domi Person. There we go, P5 for Domi Person. So really well done. Only actually within a second of our leader Marcus Lawrence now, who has taken first place from Vincent Erbrick. And for the moment, doesn't seem like anyone will improve at the front. See here, we also saw Joshua Layson getting his lap in P8. We have Robert Jan de Jong here in the McLaren. So I know the 2 seasons he did compete, or partially compete, he was in the Bentley. Now has chosen for the McLaren. And not doing too bad, only 1.4 seconds off. I doubt he will have gotten an insane amount of practice in, so probably still getting somewhat used to the car. But not up on his current lap. Let us take a look at Thomas Arnsman, though, who is a couple of tenths up, but just as we switch to him, seems like he got a little slide there, and that is actually gonna put his lap down, as he was 4 tenths up there. So another returning face here with the Adidas livery. I think he went full Slav with this livery here. MDK. Looking pretty good on the track, though. It's nice to see a Lexus with a custom livery, actually. So yeah, doing very well here. MDK up into 11th. Sure, he'll be looking to improve during the race as well. Yeah, it does seem so with it's actually strange to not see an Aston Martin this season. That's actually quite strange there. Because that is the Aston is usually quite a popular car, but it's actually, I think it's pretty good to see that we have like a nice spread of the field now. You know, a couple of Lexuses, a couple of Nissans, only one Nissan actually, a couple of Ferraris, an Audi, and a lot of Hondas. I think a lot of us came to enjoy the Honda after Bathurst, so that's good to see. And meanwhile, Marcus Lawrence still in provisionary pole there with a 143.8. Also see if anyone is improving their times. Take a look a bit further back in 19, Justin Dijkstra. Coming on to the back straight here, heading under that bridge with the World GT Challenge logos. Heavy braking zone into the hairpin. But currently about a second up on his time as he runs a bit wide there. Who has lost actually about half a second there, but still quite a bit up, so here what he pulls out of his hat in the last sector. Can he hook it up? Looking quite tidy there. Can he get the braking down? Yes, he does. Being very clean there through the last sector. And has a lot of time to gain here. We'll see him shoot up near to E10, I think. Let's see where that puts him. 15, actually. I still lost a bit of time out of the last corner there, but up into P15 for Justin Dijkstra. Jake Davenport here as well in the Audi. One of 2 Audis on the grid here. 2 tenths up. Let's see if that actually improves him. No, that'll still put him in 16th, but puts him a lot closer to Dijkstra there. Someone else that's improving here, Kovacs Levente in the Nissan. About half a second up at the moment. Listen to that nice sound of the Nissan here. Runs a bit wide there. Just lost him a little bit of time here. Let's see if we can get the braking right into the hairpin. Does seem to do so. Runs a bit wide again on the exit. When this actually might see his lap time compromise a bit as he's drawn even again. Good job hooking up that last sector, but obviously that won't be a gain for him there for that middle sector where he had a bit too many mistakes, but he has a little bit of time left. One more lap, I think, to get another time in. Someone else improving here, Brian Patet, who, if I remember correctly, last season was pretty up there, I think, and he is actually looking at a really, oh man, he was looking at a 1.7 seconds improvement there. But he clipped that curb on the exit. Still will put him up quite a bit, I think. Must have invalidated his lap, but he was actually looking really strong there with that previous lap. So this will also be the last lap for Brian, I think. Or actually can get 2 more in if he has the fuel. Has anything changed at the front? Actually, yes, it has. Vincent Airbrick has managed to, like time and time again, Lawrence and Airbrick, fierce rivals, but also friendly teammates to each other. Very close, like always. Usually in qualifying, we don't see them more than 1 or 2 tenths apart. Usually it's only hundredths that separate them. But Airbrick actually looking at a good improvement here as he comes to the last corner. Lost a little bit of time on the exit there. Let's see what he can do. He's gonna put a better time in. Oh yes, a 1:43.6, which is really strong from Vincent there. That is a really good time with the Honda. But I'm sure Marcus Lawrence will be looking to challenge that. But again, Vincent coming in here to assert his dominance once again. Let's see any other improvements here. Brian Patet, let's go take a look at him again as he goes through this last sector. Now he is about a second up, so that might see him move up into... Oh no! I was about to say that might see him move up into around 5th position, I think. But again, just doesn't get the line quite right through that last sector and will compromise his lap, so we'll keep an eye on him, see what he does here with his last lap. Let's take another look here a bit further back. P17, Lucian Samifirescu. Putting together a pretty decent lap, I think. Wide there on that first apex on the last sector, and a bit wide, but still pretty neatly. Won't see him improve, I think. For now, no big improvements. One person here that is looking at an improvement is Daryl Hill here. E24 in the Audi. Currently up about 3 tenths. Jonathan Wall behind him also up about 2 tenths. Both these guys struggling a little bit to mix in with the pack. Obviously, we don't quite know how experienced everyone is, and if they've gotten a lot of practice in, obviously. That helps a lot of people as well. But Daryl Hill actually looking at a good improvement here. is about a second up, so let's see if we can hook up this last sector here. Still about a second up. Looking good. Let's see. Ooh, bit wide there on that first apex. Looking good through that second one. Let's see if we can get a good run here. Not looking too shabby. He'll be 1 second up. Might see him move up into P23 here. And he does by a 10th. What else we're looking at here? Jonathan Wall with a big improvement here at the end. Manages to put himself within 5.4 seconds of the leader, so anything can happen in the race, and I'm sure Jonathan is looking forward to make up some positions during the race. And with that being said, our qualifying has come to an end. So pole position for Vincent Erbrich, then we have Marcus Lawrence, and then Christian Duploy in third. Also a late improvement there from Joshua Layson, who's put himself in P4. As we end qualifying here, we're gonna take a short break, and we will be right back with you for a full grid rundown and the race, of course. See you in a bit. So as we get back to you here, I am gonna give you the full grid rundown for the PCDC ACC GT3 League for round 1 at Barcelona here. So obviously in pole position we have Vincent Airbrake. Next to him will line up Marcus Lawrence, also in a Honda, but in a Red Bull livery. Then Christian Deploy in 3rd behind them. Joshua Layson in 4th. In 5th we have Ruben van den Hudding in the Mercedes. Then Thomas Arensman in 6th, also in a Honda, and right behind him also a Honda, Jordan Wansink. Then we have Domin Persson in 8th with a fairly good qualifying session for him there, I think, in the Lexus. Right behind him we have Robert Jan de Jong in the first McLaren. Then we have Rojovic in 10th with the Lexus. Ryan Daniels in 11th in the Ferrari. Vozarik, also a Ferrari. 13th, the Knecht in his very Slav-looking Adidas Lexus there. Lucian Zamifirescu in 14th. Brian Petit in 15th. Miguel Castro in 16th. 17th, Justin Dijkstra, or Justin. Jake Davenport in 18th, Max van Laar in 19th. In 20th we have Kevin Wang, another new face, I think. Then Kovacs Levente in 21st, also returning, I think, for another season. Tom Bunty might also be a new driver here in 22nd. Then in 23rd we have Daryl Hill. Leon Griffiths in 24th, and to round off the grid we have Jonathan Wall. So as we head back to the front here with Vincent Airbrake, we are coming up to the last sector of the track here, and we'll soon see the cars bunching up, as you see happening here a little bit. So everyone lining up in their correct position, and as we're heading into the last sector here, obviously one of the most tricky sectors, and we will see who can get the best run towards turn 1. So we're heading up to the line here.
Green line. Go, go, go.
And we're green for round 1 of the PCDC ACC League. And heading up into turn 1. It does seem that Marcus Lawrence got a pretty good run as they're heading side by side there. Seeing a lot of shifting around, people trying to get the best line into turn 1. Joshua Layson up in 3rd there, gets a really good run. Actually, might get up into 2nd here as he gets shoved out a little bit by Airbrake, and we have some trouble in the back there for a couple of people. We're not gonna go back there. We're focusing on the front for now, as Griffiths there gets a drive-through already, and we actually see Marcus Lawrence up in 1st now, as the grid sorts itself out, and Vincent Airbrake in 2nd. So Vincent not getting the best run into turn 1 there, and has compromised himself. As in 4th we see Christian Deploy under attack from Thomas Arensman. Oh, has actually gotten passed by, let's see, Ruben van den Hudding in the Mercedes in 4th now. Right behind him, Christian Deploy, and Thomas Arensman behind him. Got some squabbles there in the back. Oh, people running wide. McLaren running wide in the background there, but Ruben van den Hudding under attack here by Arensman. Oh, very exciting stuff. Let's see actually what has happened here. Oh, it seems again Robert Jan de Jong has been at the unlucky end of the field. don't quite know if there is actually a mandatory pit window now, but I guess we will see. But Robert Jan de Jong still going strong in 21st, as he does get passed by Rojovic now. Does seem like de Jong has quite a bit of damage on the front there, so really struggling on top speed there. But let's focus towards the front now again. It seems Marcus Lawrence really getting a... Ooh, as the rear gets a bit loose there. Really managed to gap there, as Joshua Layson has actually managed to overtake Vincent Erbrich there. So we all know it is no excuse, but the Honda obviously more of a tricky car compared to your general picks, I think. But you know, shown again by Joshua Layson here as he defends from Vincent Erbrich, and now Erbrich under attack by would that be, is that Thomas Arensman? No, it is Duploy, I think. No, I am again wrong. It's Ruben van den Hudding, of course, in the first Mercedes. But won't quite get that, as Thomas Arensman tried to take a look up the inside of Ruben van den Hudding. Ruben doing a very good job here in 4th position. But all the squabbling behind Marcus Lawrence has meant that Marcus has been able to get a nice 2.5 second gap here. And I'm sure he'll be extending that a bit more as the fighting goes on behind him. Take a look here now. How the Honda is doing on the straight here. You can definitely see the Honda gains quite a bit on the straight there on the top end. But the Ferrari not too shabby either. I think the Ferrari has pretty good acceleration out of the corners. But yeah, Marcus Lawrence comfortably in the lead. And we have Ruben van den Hudding, not Ruben van den Hudding, Layson, sorry, as he actually makes a little bit of a mistake and is compromised now by Vincent Erbrich. Vincent Erbrich back up into 2nd position and Layson right behind him. Then we have Van den Hudding there in the Mercedes, with Arensman also in a Honda right behind him. Now let's see here, Christian Deploy as well with Domi Persson there. Domi managed to move up into 7th position. And is now looking to attack Arensman in front of him, I think. Or Deploy, sorry. Getting my drivers mixed up a little bit here at the start of the season. Now also Lucian Zamifirescu under attack by Ryan Daniels there. Ryan Daniels moving up in front of him in the Ferrari. But Lucian now also coming under attack from Martijn de Knecht, I think. Ooh, that was a very optimistic move by Lucian there. See, get a replay of that. As a screen, I have heard that with custom liveries enabled, apparently replays tend to do this thing where they hang up a little bit. See, the helicam isn't actually great here. Oh, better. So coming around into this last sector here, Ryan Daniels quite a bit ahead. Very good under braking there by Lucian. And I'm actually quite impressed there, because it didn't seem like he had too much overspeed going into that turn, so maybe just a racing incident. We'll see after the race there. So actually, I'd say quite a decent move from Zamifirescu there. We all know, obviously, that the Porsche is fairly good on the brakes, and into these fast and deep braking zones, the Porsche can really make up a lot of time. Oh, the Honda was changed in the last patch. The BOP for it, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that explains why there's more people with the Honda and actually doing quite well with them at the front. Yeah, I know the Porsche got a nerf as well on Suzuka. I don't think they did anything else with it, but I know it got a nerf on Suzuka. But yeah, it'll be an ever-changing thing, I guess, the BOP, as they see fit. But, let's see here now. Vincent Airbrick still in second place there, but ooh, struggling again. Oh no. So Vincent Airbrick not quite finding his way around the Honda here, struggling initially. Obviously the Honda needs a right setup to do well, and can be very nervous under braking. So that's what we see Vincent Airbrick struggling with a little bit, and it's actually quite a rare occurrence to see Vincent struggling here. So we'll just take a moment to enjoy that. Oh, there's enough of that. Has moved Layson up into second again, and let's see now if they can actually hunt down Marcus Lawrence, who is still has the best lap with over... oh no, Vincent Airbrick actually has the best lap, but hasn't managed to consistently put his laps in. But Marcus Lawrence, about 1 to 2 tenths faster than the guys behind him, actually managed to gap about 4 seconds already. Another little fight going on here between Simon Vozarik and Brian Petit behind him. Take a look here at Petit. And then go into this last sector. Ooh, had to hold up a little bit there for Simon. But Petit getting quite a good run out of the last corner here. We know the Porsche isn't the greatest on the straight, and I think, oh, let's see, actually in the slipstream, but I don't think he'll gain enough to actually make a move here. No, we won't see that happening. But actually putting this first sector in quite well there. Brian Petit taking a slightly wider entry. See if he can get a faster run onto Vozarik here. Moving to the inside. Can he do him under braking? Not quite, not quite. Vozarik for now holding on. Ooh, bit wide there, and Petit up on the inside. Gotta try and stick it around the outside there. Vozarik outbrakes him, looking for the cutback. Petit gets again a good run out of there. Vozarik going defensive here. Only one line into this corner. Ooh, as Petit corrects a little bit there. A little bit of a tap in the back from in Vozarik's back, but not actually a bad fight. I think both of them understand what happened there, and there will be no love lost. See a fight going on behind them as well. We have MDK there, Martijn de Knecht, with Justin Dijkstra right behind him. So MDK again rocking that Slav livery. And actually, I like it more than I think I should. The black and white there fits very nicely, I think, on the Lexus. Going on to the straight now, this is usually where the Lexus gets to stretch its legs. We'll see if that is the case here. Definitely the case here, as he's closing up fast to that Porsche in front of him. And he'll try and move to the inside here, the Knecht. On the inside into turn 1. Doesn't look like Sami Firescu is going to try and fight it there. Ooh, bit of a wiggle there for Sami Firescu. This might let Dijkstra try and move there. And Vozarik still under attack here by Brian Petit. But Petit just pounding behind him. Trying to get that move done, but not quite, not quite. So Vozarik doing a good job holding on here. We can see going defensive, obviously, is allowed. One defensive move is allowed per corner. as Pate is just, you can see he's harassing Vozorek, trying to get him to make a mistake. Again, in this third sector, usually you'll see the Porsche closing up a little bit. As these braking zones really favor the Porsche here. Well, not quite a good run, and now you see where the Ferrari is strong. Out of acceleration zones onto the straights, that's where the Ferrari really shines. But Pate having a quite good of a run. Vozorek having a little bit of a swaying forth and back, so when Vozorek actually loose on the rear there, but managed to hold on. If Pate can actually try something here, again, really close up to Vozorek, but not quite. Vozorek's starting to feel the pressure now, I think, as we can see that rear is really breaking loose on him, so he's definitely pushing that car. I'm sure we'll see Pate trying a move here soon. As of now, that seems to be the only very close fight, so we're just gonna stay with them. In the meanwhile, in first, Lawrence has actually managed to get about 5.5 seconds on Vincent Erbic, who's moved back into P2. But Layson still about half a second behind him, so these guys seem to be going at it. And I think that'll remain for the rest of the race. Now, obviously, when the pit stops come in, that is going to be a very interesting part of the race, because we all know ACC pit stops. They are tricky, and if you don't get them quite right, you can easily lose 2-3 seconds, even more. So we'll see what that does to the front of our grid. But Pate not quite getting the move done so far. We see now Dijkstra in a bit of a battle here with Ryan Daniels, as Ryan Daniels slots back in. He's gonna move to the inside again, Ryan. Dijkstra doing a good job though. Made his braking zone a little bit longer, turned in a bit later, but managed to hold on to the position, as Ryan Daniels is right onto the back of him. Dijkstra doing a very good job for now to keep Daniels. Ooh, and we actually see Pate in front there going off the track, so seems like Pate was also really pushing there to catch up with Vozorek. And Ryan Daniels now, clean move there past Dijkstra as we go into the uphill section onto the back straight. And this will see that move done for Daniels, as he now creates a little bit of a gap. A bit further back here, Jake Davenport doing quite well here. I believe he's moved up a couple positions from his start. Just right behind Sami Ferescu there. And right behind him is Rojovic. These guys have a nice little spread here, about half a second between each of them. But Ryan Daniels still under attack here by Justin Dijkstra. And then behind him we have Pate, or in front of him, I'm sorry, we have Pate, who obviously had that little bit of a mistake. I don't know if he had a slide, but that could have affected his tires. He definitely had to go into the gravel, which Will hurt his tires a little bit, but not as much as having a big slide, of course. But Ryan Daniels now really closing up here on Petit. Petit seems to be struggling here in the second part of his first stint. Domi Person here in a battle with Jordan Wansink. Fight over 7th position as they try to break each other into the hairpin. Jordan Wansink on the outside manages to get that move done, I think. Yep, manages to get past. Now this last sector we'll see here, Domi Person manages to stick onto the back of Wansink and maybe try something in on the start-finish straight as Wansink gets a bit loose there, which will allow Domi Person to get up quite close to him. And now we see who has the legs. Two of the monsters on the straight here, the Honda and the Lexus. But I don't think Person will be close enough to make a move here. Actually, he might, showing his nose, but not quite close enough. So we'll see how that battle develops there. As we actually see now, Ryan Daniels managed to move up into P11 in front of Petit. Doing fairly well there. Justin Dijkstra as well, under attack by Kevin Wang. Which I wonder, Kevin Wang, is that an alias? Or is that a real name? If it's a real name, then it's really cool. And then it's an alias, it's pretty funny. Yeah, Ryan Daniels now. Moving up here, and I think Martin de Knechter moved inside in front of Simon Vozarik, who has also made a mistake, I believe. So Vozarik slowly starting to drop back now as Ryan Daniels moves up onto him. Brian Petit right behind him, so Vozarik in a bit of trouble here, as an entire train of cars behind him could easily lose or even oh, Daniel's a bit loose there, but he could easily lose about 4 positions if he's not careful. Yeah, a bit of a shaky moment there from Ryan Daniels in that last sector. Nearly turned his car around, but manages to keep it on the track. Definitely some good racing going on here. A lot of close racing between these guys. Oh, Vozarik there. The big mistake, takes out a Pirelli sign. Let's Ryan Daniels past, might actually see Brian Petit getting a better run than him. But Vozarik really struggling with consistency here today. Oh, and he goes wide. Vozarik not having the best of times here, as he's lost 3, even 4 positions almost. Let's see if Kevin Wang manages to get past. Not right now, not on the outside, but Vozarik, yeah, not having the best time here. Lost 3 positions in 1 lap. And that's how close these guys were together. But yeah, that rear end of Vozarik really struggling there. You can see him wrestling that car around, and maybe his rear tire is getting a bit hot. Not quite the right setup choice, maybe. And manages to put his car back in line. Let's take a quick look here at the front, as Marcus Lawrence doing a good job to hang on here, but behind him there, Vincent Erbrich, if we can take a look at him, who's now coming past the back marker, which will probably be Wall, I'm guessing. And Vincent Erbrich actually, last couple of laps, really putting some good times in, while Lawrence might be struggling a little bit. And has managed to bring it within 3.8 seconds now, so we'll see how that develops over the next couple of laps if Airbrake is able to close up further and challenge Lawrence. That being said, only about 3 minutes until the pit stop window opens. So we'll see how that goes. And then we'll see who can manage the best pit stop here, because easily, I mean, if Lawrence messes up his pit stop and Airbrake manages to put in a really good pit stop, then you might actually see an overtake happening inside the pit. Oh, so far, Joshua Layson doing really well there in P3. Usually his lucky number, if I'm not mistaken, seems to be seems to usually be oh, yes, whoa, close there between Layson and Arnsman, but Arnsman will surely have the ability to make a move here as a Honda stretches his leg on the straight. Layson putting a small squeeze on, but manages to hold on under braking. Yeah, Layson usually, I think his lucky number is P4 or P5, I think, from what I remember whenever he raced with us. But now definitely doing a very good job here in P3 and looking quite comfortable in the Ferrari. So I know he's pretty much always rocked the Ferrari, I think. And yeah, really shows how much experience he has with the car here. Yeah, behind him, Arnsman really hounding him now, and that'll sure be a close pit stop battle as well between these two. Here, someone has taken out those markers on the right, those corner markers there. Christian Deploy also doing a good job, I think. Managed to qualify in third, obviously has dropped back a little bit there. Currently in the M category, but looking at his performance here, I think he's definitely perhaps up for a promotion. And he's doing a very good job here. So, 25 minutes have passed and the pit window is open. So, we'll keep an eye on all our drivers here, see when they make their pit stops. We'll see if people try to extend their stints up near to the 25-minute mark, or actually try to pit as soon as possible. We already see a couple of pits coming in here. We see MDK, Brian Pate, Vozarik, Davenport, Roserwitz all coming in the pits already, so electing to get that fresh rubber early on, and obviously now with a lighter tank you might have a little bit less of an effect in tire wear, tire degradation over a longer stint, so electing to come onto the fresh rubber sooner rather than later. We'll see now here. Battle still kind of going on here between Layson and Arnsman. Really quite striking livery there from Layson as well. I think the Welsh Dragon, I believe it is. I think it's a Welsh Dragon. Complements the blue really well, the blue and the white on the car. So good job on the livery there. See now, will any of these two drivers come into the pit? So Arnsman electing to come inside the pit, and obviously he'll try to undercut Layson going into the pit there, so we'll see how that turns out. Marcus Lawrence and Vincent Airbrake still not deciding to pit. I'm sure I'm sure they will be, you know, watching each other's moves, and I don't think we'll see them pitting outside of a lap of each other, so I think they'll pit on the same lap. Probably, and it'll probably be a reactionary move from Erbrich, I believe. So as the pits are cycling in, obviously we have we will see the grid shake up a little bit, and we do see here with Max van Laar, unfortunately has seemed to have gotten a stop and go for 30 seconds. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is... Which way around was it again? Is a stop and go for track limits? Or is that for a pit violation? I think it's a pit violation. That's the 30-second stop and go, and a drive-through is for track limits. Could be the other way around, though. I'm not 100% sure. As another stop and go comes in there for Levente. So yeah, this must be these must be the speeding into pit, or speeding in pit. Oh, and another one there for Kevin Wang. So a lot of drivers not quite have put in that time practicing those pit entries, I think, or perhaps exits. As Max van Laar comes in now to serve his stop and go. Let's see if he ooh, as someone is going really slow there in the pit. Has slowed up the field quite a bit, and a lot of people now coming in to serve their stop and goes. Doing very well here. And yeah, now the field is quite spread out, as we have seen Marcus Lawrence coming into the pit, and Vincent Erbrich likewise has come into the pit. And actually, I think it was a very fast pit stop from Marcus Lawrence there. Definitely was a very fast pit stop there. I think he gained two, even 3 seconds out of that one, so really good job there by Marcus Lawrence. So 5 minutes left on our pit window. Joshua Layson in a in P1 for now until he does his pit stop. Dijkstra is about 30 seconds behind him, so he'll drop quite a bit back as well once he makes his pit stop.
Halfway through, not over yet.
But most of our drivers have come in, as does Joshua Layson now. So I'm quite keen to see here, because he was in a big battle with Arensman there. So I'm keen to see if Arensman has actually managed to gain a bit of time here on his pit stop. But he is a long way off, and I don't think, well, looking at this, I don't think Arensman will actually come out in front of Layson. I think he actually has lost quite a bit of time there, unless Layson does something wrong on his pit stop. Take a look back here at Layson. Still stationary in the pit, as more people come in to serve stop and goes as well. So quite a long pit stop here. As see here where Arensman is. Coming out of the last corner now. Layson moving again. This will actually be close, but I think, yes, Arensman has actually managed to overtake him in the pit here. Joshua Layson really missing out there, as he's now being overtaken by Van den Hudding as well. So Layson really missed out on the pit there. Seems like he has made a little bit of an error going into the pit. Yeah, I think That was a quite a weird move there in the pit whip on the pit limiter there. Like, I think 50 meters before the pit line, which is quite strange to see. I mean, he is doing a fairly good job moving out of the way for everyone, but could have caused a bit of issues there in that pit, street. Jay Wall still has to serve that stop there. As we see now here, Marcus Lawrence 8.5 seconds ahead of Airbrick. So unless Airbrick has made a mistake in the last couple of laps, yeah, his Airbrick is pit stop about 3.5 seconds slower. I can see it on the timing here. And Marcus Lawrence putting in an insanely good first lap here on his fresh tires, 1:44.2. Is currently the best lap on track. And Vincent Airbrick doing a bit worse with 2/10 worse, 44.4 for Airbrick. So yeah, Marcus Lawrence really got his time in on the Honda here, and it showed that we did the 12 hours of Bathurst in the Honda, I think. So Marcus Lawrence looking quite comfortable in the Honda here. This little battle here still going on. Obviously, Layson will be a bit faster, I think, than Van den Hudding in front of him in the Merc, but the question is obviously, can he get past? Because once you're in that dirty air, it gets tricky, as you see there. Layson is rear stepping out a little bit, and that is on fresh tires. But the same there for Van den Hudding. Both of them struggling a little bit, as Layson is looking to put a really good lap in here. Yeah, I guess this battle will be going on for quite a bit here. And let's take a lap on board here with our leader, Marcus Lawrence. Oh, that was a lap on board with our leader, Marcus Lawrence, actually putting his fastest lap in so far. 44.196. Very fast times being done here. We're actually coming close to our qualifying times here as we get towards the rear end of our race. And yeah, Vincent Airbrick not being able to, not quite able to match that, I think. And struggling a little bit, I think, in the Honda so far. Obviously, we do know Vincent has been having some surgeries going on since he decided to ride into a garage door jackass style, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm sure Eric will put the practice in for the second round, and we'll see him come back strong. But big battles going on here with let's see, who are all these drivers here? So we have Ruben van den Hudding, we have Joshua Layson, we also have Robert Jan de Jong, who's being lapped now. Yeah, so van den Hudding and Layson making their way through lapped cars here. Tricky business here, but everyone seems to be getting out of the way fine there. Okay, everyone managing to navigate their way through that traffic, and the traffic doing a good job there, getting out of the way as well. Nice mutual understanding there from the drivers. Let's go back. That battle over there, as I think the Merc has the legs on the straight there. Robert Jan de Jong now seems to have been on the wrong end of the field at the start of the race, but right now putting in some very good lap times as he'll try a move on Tom Bunty in front of him, and he does so, as Layson now has seemed to tapped van den Hudding, I think, and see if you can get a replay of that actually. Again, sorry for the hang-up. This is apparently what happens when we used custom liveries. There's a little bit of a hang-up. So switch to Helicam here. So van den Hudding quite a bit ahead of Layson here. Layson quite a bit back. Moves to the inside. Ooh, brakes a bit. Yeah, just laid on the brakes there from Layson. But we can see Layson there acknowledges his fault and lets van den Hudding back in front. So very good sportsmanship there. Yeah, just a tiny bit of a mistake there from Layson, a bit too deep into the brakes. But good to see that. Good to see that he gave that position back there. And he'll try to move now again on the inside there on Ruben van den Hudding. Doesn't quite manages to do it, but really putting the fire on van den Hudding here, Layson. See here, gets a really good run through the last sector here, but the Merc gets a really good exit out of the last turn there. Bit of a slide there from van den Hudding. See if Layson can do anything with the slipstream. Quite close, but not close enough to try and move, I think. Van den Hudding a bit wide there. E1 entry. But Layson all over him, and I'm sure... Oh, again tapping him. I don't, Yeah, tricky. I think we have to go back to a replay. Take a closer look at that. Seems like van den Hudding was quite slow there on that corner. Let's see here. Coming into turn 1, everything is fine. Turn 2 as well. And then we'll head into that long right-hander, which is where the incident happened. So van den Hudding a bit slow there, and yeah, I don't quite know. Layson just had a way better run there, but I think that still doesn't quite justify a tap there, but we'll see. Oh, Layson again letting van den Hudding through, I believe. So again, recognizes it's his mistake and rectifies it. Meanwhile, we've seen Robert Jan de Jong here moving himself up into P17. And yeah, it's a shame that he he didn't get a better start to the race there because, again, putting up really good pace as Vozarik goes into the pit again, and Layson getting a drive-through. That is massive. But Joshua Layson, obviously for track limits, has extended the track one too many times, or cut the track one too many times. And he's seen enough, I think. Yep. Joshua Layson has seen enough and is deciding to call it there, which is a shame. Was doing really well, but I think he knows as well that it could have been a much better race for him. Losing a couple positions out of the pits there, getting that drive-through, which obviously would have put him back quite a bit there. So unfortunate for Josh, but I hope we see him come back stronger next race. And that means that Van den Hudding is now in a comfortable P5, and actually Christian Deploy up into 4th now, so really well done from Christian here. Which I'm not sure if Christian was a newcomer to the league, but if he keeps this going, I'm sure that AM badge will surely be swapped out for a Pro-Am one, judging by his performance today. That being said, he is, you know, decently far from the leaders, but I think it's one of these cases where Deploy has just managed to put in consistent laps, not make any mistakes, and obviously it's paid off in him getting this P4 here. Obviously 16 minutes to go, and Van den Hudding is looking hungry there. So I'm sure we'll see Van den Hudding challenge for P4 there. And at the front, of course, Marcus Lawrence still leading very comfortably here, 13 seconds on Vincent Erbrich, which I expect, depending on how comfortable Erbrich gets with the car, is probably the most comfortable he'll be throughout the season here. But obviously it'll be up to him to prove me wrong. But I mean, very strong race from him today. Bit tricky at the start there. Got a very good start next to Vincent, straight up into P1. Then obviously had those squabbles behind him for P2 and P3. And has managed to keep his race clean. Again, seems to be getting very comfortable in that Honda, and yeah, doing a very good job overall. Go back here, Ryan Daniels seems to be getting under attack by Jordan Wansink here, as the last lap for Ryan was a 46.1 and the last lap for Wansink was a 45.9. So very close on pace, but it does seem that Jordan is trying to close up here on Ryan. But one other thing to note, very good to see, is that I think we started with 25 cars today, and only 2 have decided to call it. So yeah, very well done from our drivers to stick it in there and keep going. Yeah, Ryan Daniels doing really well here to keep Jordan Wansink behind for now. You also see now, actually, again, one of the names that goes under the radar a lot of the times here, Domi Person. Again, put in a very solid performance here as he's up into P6. Putting in very solid pace. And might have to look out a little bit here for from Ryan Daniels and Jordan Wansink behind him, because they could technically still catch him in the closing minutes of the race here. And we now have Josh there joining us in the chat. I'm sure if he wants to come in after the race is over for a little bit of a talk, we can do that. Yeah, dummy person doing a very good job here in P6. And I think this is slowly starting to define the grid a little bit. I think the positions we see now won't be changing too much anymore, except for a couple here. One other one, Robert Jan de Jong, still putting in a really good job here, catching up to some more people, but I think P15 will be where he is gonna land for today. Let's see here. So Patet is under fire here a little bit from Justin Dijkstra, I think. As they move past the back marker there of Daryl Hill, I think. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. That seems to be a thing-related issue, I think. Yeah, it does seem to be that way. Here, oh, that is. I don't think Justin is getting a very good connection to the server here. As we see him hobbling through the screen there. So Patet doing a good job holding on in 10th there. We got Dijkstra and Davenport 2 seconds behind him. If anything else is going, I think the closest fight we have on track at the moment is gonna be between Ryan Daniels and Jordan Wansink, but again, Jordan Wansink has dropped back a little bit here. What else to take note of here? Martin de Knecht. Let's actually take an onboard lap with the Lexus here, the Slav Lexus. Oh, great sound. So that was a lap on board there with the Slav Lexus there. With MDK doing a really good job here in P9. As we take a look again here at Ryan Daniels, has managed to get a pretty significant gap now over Jordan Wansink. So Jordan not quite having the pace to keep up with Daniels here. So P7 for now for Daniels, and I think it'll be very tricky unless Domi person makes a mistake somewhere. I think it'll be very tricky for Daniels to actually catch up to Domi. Let's see if we can get a couple of people here that we haven't featured too much. So Jonathan Wall here in the McLaren, who I think is also a newcomer to our league. Even though he's 4 laps behind, still putting in the pace, or still putting in the laps, sorry, and you know, just running at his own pace, getting solid. A lot of people, or a couple of people, I should say, I've seen in the chat on our Discord have been saying that they, you know, are trying to get into this league to get some experience and try to improve their racecraft. So maybe Jonathan Wall is one of them. But you know, lines are looking tidy, not doing too bad. So yeah, quite all right. Another person here, Miguel Castro, not doing too great, I think. Looking at the damage on his car. His hood is popping up a little bit, bumper hanging a bit loose, but nevertheless sticking in there and trying to make it to the end. So going. Then we have Daryl Hill in his what is that? Bronze and black, bronze, orange, and black, or maybe gold. Looks a bit more bronzy than gold. Also, is managing his pace around the track. Could perhaps catch up to Max van Laar, but I don't think his pace will allow that today. One fight we have here is Justin Dijkstra and Davenport. Coming to the closing stages here, I think Davenport is a bit faster than Justin here at the end. And we'll see here if and who is gonna take that 11th position today. Rounding off the top 10 will be Patek for now. I don't think he's under threat from everyone, or anyone, I should say, behind him. Dijkstra and Davenport are the closest, but they are still about 4 or 5 seconds behind him. So I don't think Patek, unless again he makes a mistake, should be fine here. Oh, big here. Justin Dijkstra at the end here, getting a drive-through, so abusing the track limits a bit too much here, Dijkstra, and will have to serve a penalty at the end of the race here, which will actually see him drop down a fair couple of positions, I believe. Could be P13 then for Dijkstra after he comes out of the pit, because it is quite a long pit. Quite a long pit straight here at Barcelona, so that is a shame because we were gonna see a fight here between Dijkstra and Davenport at the end. But yeah, quite a shame for Dijkstra there. So with 3 minutes to go, it seems that most of our battles are settled on track, as Dijkstra now comes into the pit. So, do a couple of laps with our leader then, Marcus Lawrence. Been dominant throughout the race. Clean and tidy, and if nothing else fails, he should be coming across the line a winner today in his Red Bull themed livery. As I'm looking across the track, doesn't seem to be any big fights going on anymore, so most of the positions are going to be settled here. And I think we will just follow Marcus Lawrence along the track here, as he's gonna fairly soon here start his last lap of the race. So our leader, Marcus Lawrence, for today will be starting his last lap of our first round here at Barcelona. So again, really solid race from Marcus here. He'll be getting the full points here today. Let's see, look at his best lap. He's also gotten the best lap today, so that's another feat there. And quite surprisingly, the best lap of Vincent Erbich, 3/10 behind Marcus Lawrence. So really managed to dominate here tonight, as he's about 17 or so seconds in front of Vincent Erbich. Last time into the uphill section, going on to the back straight. So into the last couple of corners here. A little chicane. Now the run to the line, and P1 today for Marcus Lawrence, as he's very happy with that. Greeting his pit crew there, standing on the side, or, you know, imaginary pit crew. And very good performance from Marcus Lawrence there. We now see Dijkstra and Vozarik also already finishing. Second to come across the line here, not quite finding its way with the Honda yet. P2 for Vincent Erbich here today, but I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. And then in third we have Arnsman here, very happy. Look at that. Very good from Arnsman as well, as Zami Firescu also comes across the line. Christian Deploy here with a 4th position, very good performance from him. London Hudding in 5th, very good. Domi Person, but right behind him actually Ryan Daniels, so Ryan Daniels in 7th there. Not too far off of challenging Domi Person, but again, Domi Person steady throughout the whole race, and really good result for him there. We do see Jordan Wansing coming across the line. Martin de Knecht there in the Slav Lexus, also coming across. Really good job from him. But in 10th. Davenport in 11th. Yeah, Rojovic gonna be one of our last finishers together with Max van Laar. So coming out of the last corner here. Van Laar finishing and Rojovic finishing off the race. So, very nice race here today. We've seen a lot of close battles throughout the race and very enjoyable to watch. As Marcus Lawrence is trying to pull off some drifts here, which will be very tricky in the in the Honda, I think. He will be our winner for today, and let's see if we can actually a little bit of an interview with the winner here and a couple of other people. So let's see if we can pull Marcus Lawrence in here with us. So, hello, Marcus. Is he here? Let's see.
Sorry, I had to change my voice activity.
Ah, yes.
You okay?
Yeah. It was a good race. So P1 for you, and quite a big lead over Vincent Erbrich, which I did not expect.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't have the pace actually. I managed to get him into turn 1, and I thought we would have a really tight battle throughout the whole race. I'm not sure what happened to him, but I know Josh got in front of him, and I think that cost him a lot of time in the first half of the race. And then even after the pits, I even pulled even further. So I'm not really sure what happened to him, if his setup was a bit too oversteery for him with the full fuel. But yeah, I'm really happy with that race.
Yeah, it was exactly like you said. We did see him and Josh fighting a good bit there in the opening stages of the race there, which obviously allowed you to gap even further. And then I think with the pit stop, he got a quite bad one, because I think he lost nearly 5 seconds in the pit stop.
Oh, damn.
But nevertheless, you did have just overall the pace over everyone today. So
it makes a change. It's really hard to beat Vincent, so I'm taking it.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Alright, let's see here if we can get someone else in. Let's actually have a word with Vincent here. Hello, Vincent.
Hello.
Are you good to do an interview, or is it a bit too painful with your
No.
Okay. So we saw you were struggling quite a bit today with the car. What do you think went wrong for you today?
The setup, to be honest, and also the concentration and insufficient preparation for the race. Yeah, it was a painful race for me. I was really struggling with oversteer. I had zero confidence in the car, because as soon as you started pushing it a bit, it will try to kill you. So and in the last 20 minutes, I was just counting the seconds every lap, and only 3/4 of 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the stream. I said it was one of the rare moments we actually see you struggle in a race.
Yeah. I thought I had a good race setup, but yeah, completely screwed up.
Yeah, but I'm sure you'll come back stronger next week, and you'll
I
have a
hope
bit
so,
more
because
time for the setup.
Marcus is stronger than me with this car. He has more experience, so I have some catching up to do, and maybe turning up 1 hour before the race for practice is not enough anymore.
Yeah, could be, but nevertheless P2, so still a good result, and I'm sure we'll see you come back stronger next week.
Yeah, and hopefully Arendsman and other quick guys can mix it a bit more, especially on the
Exactly. Well, anyway, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week, I think.
Yeah, probably so.
All right.
Thank you. Ciao.
So let's see here. Let's see if we can pull one more person in. Or maybe we could do MDK here with the Slav Lexus. So MDK, are you here? That is the question.
Green light, go, go, go.
Doesn't seem to be here. That is unfortunate. Could have advertised his car and the vodka and the Adidas and everything, but okay. Another person we could pull in is Domi, of course. Hey, Domi.
Hello.
So, fairly good race for you, I think.
I'm very happy with myself, yes.
It did seem that, I mean, you got the consistency over everyone, I think. I don't think it was... is it fair to say it wasn't all-out pace, but just you managing to keep your car together and putting in consistent laps?
I would say so. I mean, we were discussing it in practice. I honestly think the Lexus might be a little unfair in that department. I basically noticed zero difference in the behavior of the car as it depleted the gas tank. It just does what it does.
Yeah, I know from some other season. I know I tried the car and it seemed like a kind of a very stable platform to work on. Doesn't seem to have a lot of trouble anywhere.
It was literally the decision to go with this car because I don't have time to do any setup work really for this season, and that was all on the default aggressive setup. It was just adjusted for track temperature.
Yeah, I was taking a good look there, and I think you were the first Lexus to finish, so very good job there. But how do you think overall the race went for you?
I'm very happy. I had a couple battles that I don't think I deserved to win, really. Jordan got hit pretty badly out of the first chicane. That's how I ended up overtaking him. And then if the race had gone an additional half lap, Raz would have definitely had me because he was eating up like half a second to a second every lap in the last 10.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, again, it proves that racing is not all about all-out pace, and you do need consistency and sometimes a bit of luck, I guess, as well to come out on top.
Yeah, but it was a good race. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable to watch. Again, congratulations on your P6, I think it was, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good positioning. So.
How did it look from your perspective? From what I can tell, everybody had a tough race. Like everybody sounded tired right after that in chat.
Yeah, I did see a lot of people struggling today that I wouldn't expect. Like for instance, Vincent, he was struggling quite a bit with the Honda overall. I think it just wasn't quite his car, and yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of people. Maybe it was the track conditions that didn't help, but a lot of people struggling with their car, breaking out of corners, like the back breaking out and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it looked like a tough race for everyone to keep it consistent at least. So I think that's why you came out on top today, because you were actually one of the few that was very consistent throughout the race.
Yeah, I mean that was the goal, and we've got a lot of really fast new guys that I completely hadn't accounted for. I was kind of hoping for a top 5, but I will absolutely take this. Like this is better than what I thought I was going to have halfway through the race.
Yeah, certainly, it's very deserved. So congratulations again, and we'll see you next week, I guess.
Thank you.
All right, with the interviews done here, ladies and gentlemen, I will try to make the stream come to an end here. And it's been a very enjoyable race. Obviously, if any of you watching are interested in our league, you can always find us pcdc.simstrata.com. This is where you sign up for the race. You can also, get in contact with us on twitter.com/PCDC Motorsports if you have any questions. or want to contact us in any way, and obviously on youtube.com/PCDC Motorsport, that works as well, and this is where the broadcast will be uploaded after the race as well. So with that being said, I was sent a stuff mail. It's been a very good race, and I hope we'll see you next week, which will be at Spa-Francorchamps. Bye bye.